Hull won, Blues won. No, this was so opposite to Saturday. It's untrue. We didn't play well. We didn't uh, ping the ball about. We didn't look like scoring, and uh, but equally the defence, who were probably defending 95% of the time, uh, looked impenetrable. Um, so certainly looking at the comments from fans on my phone while I was watching the game, people weren't very happy. They weren't very happy at the start when the side was announced and no Stansfield and you know Dembele up front and so on and so forth. What's going on? Well, there was obviously a plan, um, and but for a obvious handball goal by them, yeah, we don't get anything, do we? You know, I say, oh, we got a VAR, but you guarantee if you had VAR, it'd be giving things against us. So let's just put that to one side. It was the only real chance that Hull had in the whole 90 minutes. They had lots of shots and they had lots of possession, and basically old Ruddy had to make one spectacular save, which he pushed the ball onto the post uh, and kept us in the game then. Because if it had gone 2-0, I think we uh, we might have struggled. But second half, we started off with the same 11 players, and the game carried on. They had the ball, we defended. They had the ball, we defended, and eventually the old numerator went up, and off came four, and four added on. Now uh, things started to change then, because we've got some pace up front to start with. George Hall, again, didn't do a fat lot, but he broke away. He got in behind the whole defence, got hauled over, and basically the referee gave nothing. You know, and the reason why, well, I'll tell you why. And I'm always on about how referees' minds work. It wasn't a bad foul. He just clashed with his ankles, and over he went. Now George George Hall was through on goal, and it probably, if it was a foul, it deserved a red card because George was, it left him for dead. But the referee thinking, oh, well, that wasn't really a bad enough foul to have to send somebody off. So away, play on. Let's not get into any controversy. Um, to be fair, in the last half hour, 25 minutes or so, Blues looked like they were they were going to do something. Up until then, it was just defend, defend, give them the ball back, defend, defend, give them the ball back. Nothing stuck up front. Um, Roberts and Dembele, uh, well, they could have trapped bag of cement between them, to be honest. And they were totally ornamental. We might have stuck two garden gnomes up front and bounced the ball off them because that's as much as they did. I'm sorry to say that they have abilities, but they just scoring goals ain't one of them. And certainly, uh, they the ball never stuck. Now, as soon as we had Stansfield on and George Hall, we got pace up front, as I said, and things started to happen. And then why you could, if you were going to change the strike power, you've got to pick Jukovic. He's got a record this season of scoring against them. They're not great in the air, and he holds the ball up. If you give him the ball, he'll knock people off and so on. So we didn't get that until the last 10 minutes or so. And beautiful cross sent over. And there was the Duke above everybody, smacking it into the bottom of the net, 1-1. And you couldn't help thinking, why didn't he start? Why didn't he, or certainly, why didn't he come on sooner? Certainly at half time, I would have had him on. But hey, let's, let's not get too clever. Uh, full marks for the coaches. What they decided to do, they would argue worked. You know, as I say, we drew 1-1 with their goal was you know a basketball job, and we punched it in the net. Uh, so whatever the plan was, it worked. It wasn't good to watch. It wasn't pretty. Uh, we were relying on people to do some magic tricks. I mean, Bakuna on the touchline was beating people, and in the width of a phone box. Uh, but he was always crowded out. He had no support. Uh, JJ, most ineffective gamer he's ever played, I would think. He just wasn't in it. And you start thinking, 105 minutes play, a good half of that was played with 10 men against a top side Saturday. And then we and I'm going to say big ups to the guys. Whatever you did on the field tonight, it got us a point in the end. And looking at the table now, it looks a little bit healthier. We've got 1 point more than the 38s that were below us, and we move on to Millwall on Saturday with a bit of a spring in our step. We after Saturday's travesty. Uh, Again, we've had to battle referees, and Mr. Stroud. He's never been a big fan of us. He's been on the championship now for 25 years, and if you never get promoted out of the championship, you ain't very good. Uh, but anyway, that's by the by. Final scores again is Hull City 1, Birmingham City 1, and we move on Saturday. Millwall. Ooh, what a game.